Welcome all to another episode of the C64 Roundup, your concise guide to all the latest news and releases for your Commodore 64. Let's kick things off by checking out some of the latest new game releases. Cypher Patrol 2, The Pure Sword, is a platform action arcade game originally made up using the shoot 'em up construction kit and modified with the additional code to push the limited game development platform to its limits. The game is set in an alternative 19th century where you're an agent of the Indian resistance forces sent in to bring down the East India Company, who has allied with a demonic entity. Guiding your agent from right to left, you'll come across a number of different types of enemies which you can either eliminate with your sword or navigate around them. And for most part, you'll find Cypher Patrol 2 not too difficult, as enemy AI is limited by the C64 engine. For many of the screens, you can sit back and watch the enemy complete their movement before deciding whether you need to engage them or not. Many of the enemies do not have the ability to turn back and shoot at you if you get to the left side of them. There are pickups to collect that can increase your sword range or grant you extra lives, and smart bombs can be activated by hitting the S key. Cypher Patrol 2 contains a total of 3 stages with a boss battle at the end of each. Despite the limitations of the gameplay, I enjoyed playing through the game. The graphical style is quite striking, and I really like how the East India soldiers are drawn. The Richard Bayless music soundtrack is his usual pulsating high standard that drives you forward. I think if you enjoy your C64 gaming at a casual pace these days, then this should be right up your alley. Cypher Patrol 2 is a free digital download. Seawolf 2 is an unofficial sequel to the original 2-player paddle game released on the C64 back in 1982. The premise to the game is simple: shoot torpedoes at the enemy ships and build up your score before the timer runs out. Note that you need to reload your torpedoes from time to time, which takes 3 seconds. Seawolf 2 has improved graphics and sound when compared to the original, and now includes joystick support and a 1-player mode. This one is fun to play, whether it be with a friend or trying to beat the tough computer opponent. Seawolf 2 is a free digital download. And another old game getting a little bit of a makeover is a turn-based artillery game, Artillery Duel. This deluxe version includes a 1-player mode with selectable opponents and improvements to the graphics. I find that these type of games are always best played against a friend, and since these days our friend seems to be someone we've met online, we can play Artillery Duel Deluxe with them, as the game supports 2-player online mode using modem devices such as the WIC 64. Yazaris is another game built using the shoot 'em up construction kit. Inspired by arcade titles like Sidearms and Forgotten Worlds, Yazaris sees you take on the role of a resistance fighter in an attempt to save your home planet from the control of the Yazaris Tower. You fly up the tower, taking on hordes of enemy guardians in an effort to get to the top so that you can destroy the main force that has taken over your planet. The game is somewhat interesting to play and is one of the better games made using the C64 engine, but I found that shooting horizontally to be somewhat of a chore. It seems like you can't shoot left or right without your character moving a little at the same time, which means you end up hitting obstacles frequently as a result. I would say Yazaris is well worth a try for a 1-session playthrough, especially since it's a free digital download. Evil Dungeon is an RPG-based fantasy adventure that is programmed entirely in BASIC. You play the role of a young adventurer who has to master his first quest through the Evil Dungeon labyrinth. Evil Dungeon is really easy to get into and is perfect for anyone who wants to give the genre a try. Navigate your way from room to room, searching for items to pick up, doing battle against a collection of dungeon nasties, and building up your experience points. The combat system is really simple to use. You select whether you want to attack, use a fire vial, or escape. If you choose to attack, then automatic dice rolls determine whether attacks and parries are successful. There are treasure chests for you to loot, but only if you have a lockpick available. Evil Dungeon offers more than an hour's worth of gaming, and I found the whole experience somewhat absorbing and fun to play. Evil Dungeon is available as a free digital download, or you can purchase a physical disc version directly from RetroArts. My favourite arcade game from the 80s would have to be City Connection, so you can imagine my joy when I found out that the Commodore Connection is a C64 adaptation of the game. Drive your car around the elevated highways, painting the road while being chased by police cars and trying to avoid errant cats that pop up out of nowhere. This version doesn't quite come close to capturing the arcade experience, the handling is not quite right, and the police car AI feels somewhat limited. Ah well, appreciate the effort though. Commodore Connection is available as a free digital download. Time to see what's been making the news of late. A Pig Quest has proven itself to be the smash hit that everyone anticipated. Not only has the game received broad critical acclaim, but has quickly clocked up 1,500 in sales within the first week of its release. Quite impressive figures in this day and age. Well, a month on from its release, and I can reveal that the sales count has so far gone up to 1,700. This would make a Pig Quest close to the second most selling commercial game in the modern age. Leading UK software publisher Cytronic Software has announced the end of the physical disc releases. Citing supply issues with C64 5¼ disc, Cytronic Software has confirmed that Terrestrial is the last of their releases to be available on floppy disk. While it's sad to see the end of the floppy disk era, I think it's great that more releases will now be available as a cartridge or USB cassette format. Issue 22 of K&A Plus magazine is now available. Featuring comprehensive game reviews, latest news and many great feature articles, K&A Plus is sure to have something for every C64 and Amiga enthusiast. This is no dinky little A5 publication. K&A Plus contains 82 pages and is professionally laid out in an A4 format. K&A Plus is available in both English and Polish editions and can be purchased as either a digital PDF or as a physical paper release. To finish off this episode, let's take a look at some older modern day titles that you might find of interest. Time of Silence is a top-down action adventure game released back in 2015 as part of the Forum 64 adventure competition. The backstory to the game is that the world has gone through a pandemic that has seen most of the world's population succumb to an aggressive neurological disease followed by a quick death. The remaining survivors all moved out to remote villages, living a basic technology-free lifestyle, and the game starts off with a sequence showing your wife dying from the disease and you're in a state of despair. You go around exploring the village, talking to other people, and you eventually find out about radio equipment possibly being located to the north. You're not given permission to venture out of the village to look for the device as you're considered too weak. So your job is to find a way to enhance your capabilities so that you're eventually allowed to head out north. As you do make your way through to the dangerous woodlands, you'll need to take part in some turn-based combat, though you actually never see the creature you're actually fighting. I quite enjoyed this combat sequence as there is an element of strategy involved with it. What happens when you locate the radio? Well, I won't spoil the interesting story narrative here and leave it for you to find out. Time of Silence is not a large game. It can be completed within 20 minutes once you work out what you need to do, but I think many of you will enjoy its casual game pacing. Time of Silence is available as a free digital download. BOFH, Servers Under Siege, is a conversion of the original PC game done by Covert BitOps way back in 2002. You play the role as a bastard operator who arrives late to work one day to find it's been overrun by a paramilitary activist group taking hostage of all the servers, workstations and printers with the intent to blow them up all into smithereens. You love your computer network equipment and take it upon yourself to take on the activists all by yourself and bring them down. The game is presented in a top-down view and features a control system that takes a little getting used to. Push up to move forward, while pushing left or right rotates your player in that direction. Pressing the joystick button will use your currently selected weapon. You go around exploring a 7-level building as you beat up the bad guys, picking up weapons and health packs. When you kill the green bad guys, they leave behind a hint on what colour wires need to be cut to safely disarm bombs hidden throughout the building. BOFH is a tactical game in that you can sneak up on enemies from behind and the ammunition can be conserved by using your fists or locating a network cable to whip enemies with. To finish the game off, you need to defuse all of the bombs, kill all of the activist group leaders and get to the server room in one piece. The control system does prohibit the game from being a totally fluid experience, but everything else works quite well and is fun to play. BOFH is definitely one that I would recommend if you have not had the chance to play yet. And that is a wrap on another C64 roundup. Hope you enjoyed this episode. All game links can be found in the video description. I'll be looking to push out additional video content moving forward, so be on the lookout for videos covering single games for the Amiga, Plus4 and VIC-20 machines. Until next time, bye for now.